Can you believe a man looked me in the eyes and said that if I wasn't a virgin, I wouldn't have the right to ask for a dowry? I was speechless. To begin with, in my city, Changsha, dowries were never a common thing. It was always something reserved for very wealthy families, for those who were obsessed with maintaining appearances. It was more of a gesture of sincerity than anything else. Men offered it as a way to reassure the woman and her family, you know. But now, look at the level we've reached. The demand isn't just about paying a dowry anymore, it's about proving purity, as if we're still living in the past. Marriage used to mean building a life with someone. Now, there are men who want all the guarantees but complain when women ask for the basics. They talk as if we, as women, only need to bring a suitcase and our lives are set. So, is it really too much to ask to be treated with the same respect and dignity? I'd love to know what you all think because honestly, I'm still trying to process this.
Nowadays, even if the government gave me a wife for free, I wouldn't want her. I'm 42 years old, single, worked for 10 years, and saved 600,000 yuan with 5 times interest. I'm not going to slave away for a woman. You might say I should get married, right? But this will be the biggest trend in the next 10 years. I will stay single for life. As long as I don't get married, I'm financially free. As long as I don't get married, I have no weaknesses. As long as I don't get married, I avoid all high expenses. Houses, cars, dowries, and social gifts. These are all high costs, and none of them benefit us men. If I don't fall into the traps of car loans, mortgages, or the obligation to continue the family line, with my 4,000 yuan salary per month, I can't even spend it all. If you get married, it's a lifetime of hard work and debt. My life? Single and carefree forever. If you get married, you fall into the abyss of debt and never get back out. Minor health issues? I handle them myself. Serious health issues? Well, if it doesn't work out, it's fine too. I don't need to continue the family line, no car loans, no mortgages, and I still ride smart cars every day. Brothers, let me tell you, not getting married is the greatest blessing and happiness you can have. It's the highest cost-benefit decision of your life. As long as I don't get married, I have no chance of becoming a bootlicking dog. Without being a bootlicking dog, there's no overspending. As long as I don't get married, I don't need to buy a car or a house, and I live without any financial pressure. With my 4,000 yuan salary, I'm the person with the most cash in my group. If I don't get married, I don't need to please women to make them like me. Nor will I be blinded by love. I won't end up with nothing in the end. Nowadays, you spend tens of thousands to get engaged, and in a blink of an eye, she accuses you of harassment. It happens all the time, doesn't it? Did you see that recent news? A couple married for years with 3 kids, and none of them were the husbands. Brothers, let me tell you, don't be bootlicking dogs. Don't get married. From the very beginning, you can avoid all the risks of marriage. You don't have to work yourself to exhaustion. You start off easy. Don't live in the glamorous world of others. Live in your own splendid world.
In the future, I think it will become increasingly difficult for me to get married. I'm one of these women from the Golden Point, and I've noticed that men are becoming more aware of what they want. Here in China, expectations are high. I've seen that many men expect us to have a car and a house, and they also ask for a wedding gift and the 3 golds. On the other hand, men have been very clear about what they want as well. They say that to meet these demands, they need prenuptial exams and financial guarantees. It's not just about material gifts. When they use savings from 2 generations, they want to be sure they are marrying a woman who maintains her purity. I saw this situation spark a huge debate online. Many people say that we shouldn't treat women as a transaction, that this is a form of disrespect and discrimination. And some men say that we should value a woman's inner charm, and not just her virginity. It's heartbreaking to see these traditional expectations imposed on us, as if it's something shameful. Speaking of traditions, I remembered an old saying. An 8-elephant sedan carries a high society lady. A formal and proper marriage carries a virtuous and respectable wife. Since ancient times, marriage in China has been associated with a woman's purity. Theoretically, this should be a basic standard. But today it seems like an unattainable ideal. I saw some comments online, and many men say, if there is a wedding gift, then it's just a transaction and a trade. Demanding virginity is not unfair. I paid the price of a new car for a second-hand or even refurbished one. So why should I lose in this deal? I think that if these women seek equality, then men's requirements are not entirely wrong. I just want to find someone who understands. Someone who accepts the right conditions. So I can have my place and my future. That's the reality I live and see every day.
Nowadays, many men, once they pass 30 years old, start losing interest in women. But women over 30 are still waiting for men to chase them. Isn't that ironic? In reality, the natural emotional stage for men is between 18 and 25 years old. After 25, love and attraction to women start to decline. The ones who don't decline are those playboys and problematic men. Due to social pressures, work challenges, and life difficulties, a significant part of men's time and energy is consumed. What's left is often used to self-indulge, doing things that bring personal pleasure. That's why you notice, the older the man, the more interests he has. Apart from women, he might be into things like motorcycles, playing cards, fishing, drinking tea, and other personal hobbies. Some men enjoy collecting bracelets, beads, or other accessories. Instead of spending time and energy on relationships, they prefer hobbies and personal activities. Today, men have many ways to entertain themselves. Many men in their 30s told me this year that they lost interest in women. Since they stopped having relationships, they advanced professionally, made more friends, increased their wealth and health, and improved their overall quality of life. So, if any needs arise, they are addressed in a very realistic manner. Their needs are simple and practical. Emotional value is present and doesn't bring extra worries. It's not that they are lazy. Men haven't lost interest in women. They are just no longer interested in pursuing, supporting, or flattering women the way they once did. It consumes too much time, energy, and money, and often doesn't yield results. That's why they are now telling women to value themselves more. So, men with better conditions nowadays are those who have personal style and worth. They are the men women like, but they rarely chase after women, let alone women in their 30s.
Men are no longer blindly paying for women, and at the same time, women's purchasing power without male support is becoming common. The core of this issue is the collapse of the female-oriented consumer economy. The collapse of this economy and the banks categorizing single women over 30 and divorced women as high-risk groups indicate that social values are shifting. Men no longer pay automatically and blindly for women, and women without male support face financial difficulties. This has become an undeniable fact. Recently, I served a female client. She is a buyer at an e-commerce company in Hangzhou, a 38-year-old single woman. Her social security and housing fund contributions are low. Although her salary exceeds 10,000, her spending is very high, and she has no savings. She is now facing family health issues, requiring tens of thousands of funds urgently. But without a man's support, she had to take out loans. To make matters worse, her credit card has been overdue for 2 months, and her chances of securing a loan are almost non-existent. This is a true reflection of the difficulties faced by single women and the tragedy of loans among women who remain. Such cases are not isolated. In today's society, more and more single women face similar situations. They lack financial support and are often rejected by banks due to their relationship status. These facts highlight a deep social problem. We must recognize that this is a significant challenge for women. Many of them fall into this age group because of their economic and family situation. They need more opportunities and support to prove themselves, without being discriminated against because of their marital status. On the other hand, we need to be more understanding and supportive, offering assistance and help to single women. Additionally, financial institutions should treat everyone fairly, without using relationship status as a criterion for loan approval. We should show more care and respect, honoring each individual's personal choices, ensuring that everyone can enjoy economic development rights, without being hindered by unfair external influences. Therefore, we need to build a more inclusive and just society, providing everyone with more opportunities and respect, so that every individual is treated equally in this society.
Here are the older single men. Why aren't they going out for arranged dates? I saw a girl complaining that she attended dozens of matchmaking events, and in every one there were way more women than men. According to the data, in China the number of single men exceeds single women by more than 30 million. So they should be more proactive in matchmaking events. But why isn't reality like that? From what I understand, many men these days would rather stay single than have a relationship. I have a college classmate. He's 36 years old. And when it comes to matchmaking events, he's not in a hurry at all. Totally in a let-it-be mindset. This state of mind began to change 2 years ago. After a matchmaking event, he said he has no expectations about matchmaking. 2 years ago, through an introduction made by a matchmaker, he met a girl who was 2 years younger than him. At first things looked promising, until he discovered that she had already been married before. That bothered him, since he would be her first marriage and had good conditions. He felt that being with a woman who had already been married would be a bit unfair. Still, he decided to continue seeing her, because apart from being previously married, she seemed great in every other way. But he didn't anticipate the behavior that followed. She contacted the matchmaker and said she didn't like him. She said his height of 1.73 m was too short. She wanted someone at least 1.80 m tall, with a car, a house and an annual income of at least 150,000. For a first marriage, she said that being too young didn't require expectations, and there were no guarantees. The couple argued every day about money issues, until they reached divorce. Now, if she wants a second marriage, she must address many issues in advance, wanting everything others have. In reality, she just didn't like my classmate. At first, he still wanted to try other matchmaking opportunities, but he eventually gave up entirely. He said, "If I didn't reject you, why are you rejecting me now?" After that experience, he completely gave up on matchmaking, saying he couldn't meet the unrealistic demands of women's expectations. Instead, he chose to stay single, playing video games at home after work, spending weekends with friends grilling and drinking, earning money and spending it on himself, sometimes fishing or going on trips. In short, when a man says he's not in a hurry, he really isn't in a hurry. When a single woman says she's not in a hurry, she's often just saying it without meaning it.
Why don't we see older single men feeling anxious in their daily lives? Because they're simply relaxed and content? Why don't they feel any urgency at all? The reasons why older men stay single are mainly tied to their limited living conditions. As time goes on, women start to get wrinkles and their physical strength declines. But what about men? You'll notice that they don't experience the same anxiety about age or the future. What concerns a man the most is his financial situation, something he can build and accumulate over the years. For example, when they're young, they have nothing, but they aren't in a rush. They work during the day, play video games at night, and on weekends, they go fishing or just relax, living a carefree lifestyle without much worry. So by the time they hit 40, they already have a house, a car, and savings, and they can still wait for a partner in her early 20s. None of that affects them. The path for men is different from that of women. While women are often assigned a social value by society from birth, men usually only earn that recognition after their 30s. What do you think about this topic? If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.